Tonight, I'm going to tell the story of Radar. He's one of the two dogs that we currently have, and he came into our lives when we thought we were downsizing in pets. Brief history, we had a cat and a dog that we had had for many, many, many years, and then we also had a little puppy, I don't know, a year or two, maybe 3 years old at the time. And the older cat and the dog passed away within days of each other, and it was emotionally draining, traumatic. And so, after going through that experience, we decided, you know what, this is just too much. We not something we prefer going through. So once this now one puppy that we had gets old and passes away, that's it. We're done with pets. So I end up going to the dump one day, and I'm coming home on a 2-lane road, and there's this dog in the middle of the road. Now normally I would just pass the dogs and not think twice about them, but this dog, like I said, was in the middle of the road and just would not get out of the road. And I thought, he's gonna get hit, so let me pick him up. I'll take him to the pound, and that'll be that. So I pull over, and I'm looking around, and I can't find him anywhere. Well, I wonder what happened to him. Well, I open my door. As soon as I open my door, boom, the dog jumps in right into my lap, and it is malnutritioned. It's shaking and shivering, and it stinks. Oh, so I pet it for a couple minutes. I thought, well, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and head to the pound and pick it up, and I move it to the passenger seat, and boom, comes right back into my lap. Again, I try to move it, and boom, coming back into my lap. I thought, well, I'm not going to get this dog out of my lap. Might as well go home. Drive home. I get out of the car and start walking into the garage up to the door, and this dog's right at my heels. Like, it's just not leaving. I was afraid that when we got out of the car it might run off or something like that, but it is just following me, does not want to leave me. So come up to the garage door entrance to the house, and I peek my head in and holler for my wife, and I ask her, hey, do you know if the pound is open? And she's like, well, what are you talking about? And I said, well, picked up this dog on the side of the road, and I want to take it to the pound. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, don't come and look at it, because you'll want to keep it. And of course our son gets involved, and they both see the dog, and it's like, oh, such a cute dog, but it did stink. And trying to get a hold of the pound. And anyway, we ended up calling the vet and said, well, we'll have the vet check over the dog, make sure it's okay and everything, and maybe if it is, we'll keep it. And took it to the vet. Other than kind of malnutrition, a little bit of scabies or whatever, we kept the dog. So now we have the dog, and took us a little while to name it. Here's a picture. You can tell why we named it Radar. I don't know. Sometimes I think he's a smart dog, and sometimes I think he's a dumb dog. When we first got him, he was so small that he would run through the slats on our fence, and that was terrible, because now we have to watch him or keep him on a leash. So we ended up getting him a collar, or not a collar, a blow-up thing to put around his neck, and now he can't get out of the fence. But he's been a handful, but he's been a joy too. He definitely loves us. Especially my wife, always crawling up in her lap and cuddling up and doing that. So that's the story of Radar. I guess he's part of the family now. There you go. So hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a great evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.